Hello everyone, I'm Carius, and today I've got a short video showing off my Kronos, which has a number of things done to it. The first and foremost is that I've been experimenting with dyeing plastics. This isn't paint, this is actually orange dye. It's RIT Dye More Synthetic, and this is the third attempt at dyeing that this blaster's been through. So if you look closely, you can see that the surface is pretty scarred up. The shell is actually warped. You can see it trying to split up here and here, but it's just good enough that it all fit back together. Now that I know what I'm doing with the dye, I could get it much cleaner than this, but this was the experiment blaster. So I will be doing a video in the future explaining how to dye plastics and not have them torn out all pockmarked and weird. I think even near the logo you can see some bubbles due to the weird nature of how I did this one, but I love the color. It turned out pretty cool. This is apricot orange, and I like it. So that's the main thing I did. But then once I had this cool orange Kronos shell, I decided I wanted to just take it as far as I could and make myself a nice little sidearm. So it has a containment crew Kronos spring in it, which is nice. It's about like a K26, except it feels actually maybe a little bit stronger just because it's just the right size. See, I've got this nicely drilled hole in the ammo door so that I don't have to open it. It's the perfect size for rifle balls. And I did the 6-round capacity mod to it, so that's 6 rounds. And I'll put a link in the description to the video I used to figure that one out, which was MisterNathan's tutorial, because it was nice and straightforward. It's actually really easy to do. You just shave down a bit of the follower and a little bit of the front orange piece here, and it'll fit 6 rounds and work just fine. So new spring, drilled through this, and made myself a T-pole here. Now this is some high-density polyethylene sheet that I had. 2 layers of it, that's why you can see the screws here. It's screwed together. And I got one layer, actually goes in under the slide where that double-stage plastic cover thing used to be. And the other layer just stops right at the slide here, just to give it a little bit extra thickness for comfort. And this works great. It makes the K26 style, well, it makes the upgraded spring, the Containment 2 spring, really manageable to prime back and forth. And now I have 3 loaded in there. And it's got just enough power to kind of just spurt 3 balls out of there. It can actually shotgun 2 balls pretty well. Those just bounced all around the workshop, and that was 3 and then 2, and now I've got 1 left in there because this is a 6-round Kronos. It has quite a kick to it. So I got all that, and then of course, just to kind of hide some of the weirdness of the shell, I just added a little bit of cosmetic stuff. This is vinyl dye, which works fine on top of regular dye. It just soaks right into the shell just like vinyl dye always does. So I have a very solid logo and color on here. I cannot scrape this orange off because it's in the plastic. It's part of the plastic, and if I had done it correctly, the surface of the plastic would be just as it was stock, without any of these bubbles and weird melted spots. Which the next thing I dye will be a lot cleaner now that I know what I'm doing. But even with the screwed up process, it still looks pretty cool. And then on this side, I went into my graphics design program I used to actually do all these, and I took the rival logo, and it already has an RI and an A for Carius, and I just kind of made myself a C and an S, and the U is of course just the C flipped. So I just made myself a couple of letters that match the font, and now I have rival styled Carius on the side here, and that turned out pretty good. You can see the vinyl dye definitely seeped under my stencil a little bit, as vinyl dye tends to do, and that's both because vinyl dye is really really finicky like that, and also because the surface of the plastic is so pockmarked and weird because of the acetone. They don't have a smooth surface like you would if I hadn't had so much trouble dyeing it. I actually wonder what would happen if I did the logo first and then dyed the part. If they would completely destroy it, or if it would hold up and be fine. Because you can see on this side, this rival painted on just stayed there, and it held up to the dye. The weird like Greek helmet thing here melted right off, and I think that's because of this side got some acetone poured directly on it, and I think it ate right through it, so that killed it. But over here, on the part that was a little more, that had a little less problem in the acetone bath, the logo held up. So you can actually dye parts and keep the original Nerf paint on there pretty easily, which is cool. And then this, I just Sharpied in here just to give this some a little bit more decoration. And it's really easy to just Sharpie inside stuff like this, and then take some rubbing alcohol and then wipe over it so that all you're left with is the Sharpie that's in the crevices. Just kind of a super lazy way to do that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So I have a nice spring upgraded 6-round Kronos with a comfortable pull that makes it super easy to pull back. Because the one thing I really hate about Kronos is when you've spring upgraded them is that it sucks to prime them like this. Your hand slips off, your hand gets, it really kind of hurts your hand after a while. It's difficult, where this is super easy to pull back. So it's a huge improvement. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of results I get with dyeing once I do it correctly. As a LiPo alarm goes off in the background, I'm currently preparing for a Nerf war tomorrow. So that's it. I just wanted to show off my Kronos. It's pretty awesome. It's what you all would come to expect from a K26 Kronos. It's just orange. So yeah, I'm going to be having fun with this thing tomorrow. Put it through its paces. Kablam. Is that 6? Yeah, that was 6. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at my Kronos. A couple different experiments in one. I will see you in the next video. Until then, this has been Carius, reminding you to have fun.